Hey there, movie buffs. Welcome back, or welcome, to Quinn's Movie Review Corner. I am going to be reviewing Premium Rush with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon is the guy. He's Leonard on Let's Go to Prison. He's the head of the Nazi gang in prison. He's an amazing actor, and so is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But to be honest, because I've really enjoyed him in oh oh he wasn't in that one. Yeah, he was. The Interview at the very beginning. He had puppies on the on, but stuff with Seth Rogen the night before. That's a really good one too. Um, he's a very he can do action, which is this one, and he can do funny, and he can do serious. Looper, that was a good one. They changed his face though, so he doesn't look like himself in Looper. But I'll be reviewing that one soon. So this guy is basically he doesn't want to grow up. The beginning, he says that he wants to go fast. He doesn't have. He said something about uh, the no brakes. He can't have brakes. He doesn't want to stop or can't stop. Don't want to either. So he went to college and he was about to start do the bar exam, and then he saw you know people his age in a business suit. He's like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to grow up. It's basically the how his mentality is. He's a street messenger, bike messenger. Uh, I guess like if faxes or email or text or PDF or anything like that doesn't work. Well, this was back in what 2012, I think. Yeah, 2012. So yeah, we had that kind of stuff. Maybe not as advanced as now, but anyways, they if something was really valuable or whatever, and it had to be a certain time, then you'd get a bike messenger. So he's kind of light on the day, not a lot of money, and he wants more money. So he he gets a 90-minute route from this university that is his alma mater. That's a long time to be on a bike, and these bikes are not slow. This is not like the leisurely, what is it, the beach, whatever the thing is that I have. It's a very slow type of bike. These bikes are going like 40 miles an hour, or really fast. He's grabbing onto buses, weaving in between traffic like he's on a crotch rocket motorcycle, but he's on a bicycle using his. It's insane. I want to watch the special special features to see if that was actually done. Obviously not in like a major city or anything, but actually done like in The Spy Who Dumped Me. They have a chase scene in that actually they actually staged that. So I want to see if that's actually how it's done. So this young Asian girl, um, she gets him, asks for him specifically, specifically, and so she gives him a package. She says that it's very, very important. He's like, they always are, whatever. So he's trying to eat a a burrito. And Michael Shannon, who is the cop, Detective Monday, which is weird. I'm just going to refer him to Monday. So he tries to stop Wiley, who is on the bike. He's the main character, and because they're a security courier, they can't just give the package to just anybody. One second. A little bit of coffee there. It's a little bit early. So, anyways, yeah, he wants to give. He doesn't announce himself as a cop at all, and basically Wiley says, "Here, hold my log," instead, like, which reminded me of what is the movie? Accepted, where he's like, "I'm just eating a wad." Anyways, he starts running or starts biking away, and Monday chases him in a car, and Wiley is just like, because he's being chased, he's going in between cars and going like down a one way, wrong way street, and Monday's making some pretty funny comments like, not sneaky. Um, well, anyways, it was basically like sneaky type of a thing, and then he's chasing him. And he's like, "I'm chasing a bicycle," and the way it's just freaking hilarious. So that's basically the entire movie. Is he's being chased. I'm just kidding. So as that's happening, he's going down the wrong way. He causes an accident, supposedly. But I actually rear-ended somebody because somebody tried to get in my, they moved over into my lane, but it was my fault. So this bike cop starts chasing him down too, and because he caused an accident. No, it's the person that hits the car in front of them. It's their fault. Not. Anyways, that's. So he's chasing. They're both chasing him. He goes to the police station, because Monday is chasing him. He doesn't know who he is yet. So he goes to the police station, gets a sandwich out of the wheel of death, but it's not a wheel. It was a. It looked like a regular. Well, one of those things a vending machine. Looked like a regular vending machine, but he gets a tuna sandwich. Ooh, gets a tuna sandwich out of the wheel of death. Anyways, as he's about to pick it up and eat it, he hears Monday in the background, and he's like, "Oh crap!" And then he looks at his phone because he took a picture of the guy's license, and it said NYPD right on it. So he goes and sneaks out. He almost gets caught by Monday and the bike cop. So the way he lost the bike cop was he saw that the light was turning on for the taxi, so the door was about to open, and he slipped around the taxi before the door opened. The door opened, and he hit the door and flipped over. So he was all banged up. I'd be like, workers' comp? No, I'm just kidding. No. So where was I? Yeah, he slips away. Then it tells Monday's story. He's in Chinatown. at I'm guessing an illegal gambling club. Uh, yeah, Chinatown. So it's Chinese or Asian ran. So he's doing some kind of weird game. It looks like dominoes, but it's different. So he's losing horribly, and so he owes them $17,000 at the end. Goes to a loan shark. 20%, 20 big. That's crazy. So he gets. I'm presuming $17,000 to pay off. One, he's robbing Peter to pay Paul. In other words, so instead of paying Paul, he goes across the street to another illegal gambling operation, bets it all on one hand, and loses. So he's out 36,000. Right? 36. No, 36. 7 and 7 is 4. $34,000 in one day. That's crazy. So they're beating on him and stuff because he screwed him over basically. He breaks a tooth on a phone book. Then he beats up the guys who were beating on him because he said nothing permanent. So that's not really important to the story, but it's basically showing his character. And he ends up, because the guy broke his tooth, he ends up putting the guy's teeth on a truck, like the step of a truck bumper type of thing. It's metal, and bashes his head in the back, and breaks his teeth. The guy ends up dying, so he's like, oh crap. So he has to get whatever is being transferred, or whatever you want to call it, messaged from the little Asian woman, young Asian woman, and it's worth $50,000. That's what he said, $50,000. So he ends up saying, "Yeah, I'm going to need an address." Then it goes to, is it the? Yeah, I think it's the. I can't remember her name, but the younger Asian woman's point of view. The movie reminds me. This part reminds me of how it's different perspectives. Oh, and the timeline is screwed up. So at the very beginning, he crashes, and it's like 6:33, and then it's like 5 o'clock, right? 10 seconds later. So in that aspect, it kind of reminds me of Vantage Point with Forrest Whitaker. I stopped recording, and I was just about to look at my phone, and I'm like, Forrest Whitaker. Okay. So that movie is one specific instance from like 5 different perspectives. It's interesting. I like it. It's a good one. I'm probably going to review that one as well. I mean, I've got thousands of them. Where was I? Her perspective, the Asian woman's perspective. So she is Wiley's Wiley's girlfriend's roommate. And I guess she works 3 jobs for the last 2 years, and she had enough money for a snake head. Don't know what that means. So, well, I didn't at the first time that I watched it. So, you assume it's a triad type of a thing, mafia type of a thing. So, she has a whole bunch of money, assuming $50,000 because that's how much it's worth. She goes to this guy, and she gives him the money, and he gives her a smiley face. That's it. A piece of paper with a smiley face. And it looks like a movie theater stub. And he goes, "This is the same as money now." Right. So I'm sure it is, in their world, but so he says that if she ever has problems, call this number and we'll deal with it internally. Um, so the girlfriend, Wiley's girlfriend, is getting kicked out of her apartment that day. Um, so what do you think? She saw the girlfriend saw her roommate with all that money, and she told her where she was going. So the cop, Detective Monday, comes over with because he asks for the address, and he asked the roommate where she is and stuff. So he ends up at the college where she works or goes because she's a student visa, right? And she gives Wiley the receipt with a smiley face on it, and right then Monday, gets up in her face and asks her about it and stuff. And then we go up to the meeting of Monday and Wiley. And it's very interesting that at that point. So Wiley ends up returning it. He returned it to the front desk of the college, which is kind of funny because he was probably already halfway there. So Monday is at his desk trying to figure out what to do with his life. Maybe not gamble. No. No. He remembers that he has the receipt from the Asian girl. He took the receipt from her. So he calls the security courier and changes the drop-off address. So as soon as he drops it off, Wiley drops it back off. Manny, the guy who I guess he's I would say he's more of the guy who is just doing the job so that he can get buff. I'm guessing because he's extremely buff. He has a very expensive bike. He has the spandex and stuff, and he has like the mountain bike and stuff, and he's the butthole as Wiley calls him the entire movie. Obviously not that, but monetization. I'm not even monetized, so it doesn't even matter. But I want to be one day. So Manny picks it up. Then we hear the real story behind the receipt. It's so that her son can come to the United States. She has a I don't know 5-year-old or something, and so he was supposed to go with her, but because she posted something about on the internet, and I've heard that China's government does something with the internet that makes everything that made it worse. They monitor it or something, and because she posted something on the internet, they didn't allow her son to be brought into the United States under her student visa. So she had to spend $50,000 to smuggle her son out of China. So then Wiley is all on board with the idea of, oh, okay, well then I'll do it. Before he didn't know what it was, and he figured it wasn't worth it to get killed over. And he races. He tries to figure out how to get Manny to give it back to him, because it's going to the wrong place. Instead of telling Manny, hey, bring it to this place instead of this place, they race, and it's suspenseful and it's awesome. So they're racing through Central Park, and lo and behold, guess who picks up the chase? The bike cop. So they're chasing around, riding around, and the bike cop actually jumps off his bike and tackles the other guy, the black guy, Manny. So, his bag he sets his bag down, and the roommate knows what the story is. So she grabs his bag, takes out the envelope, and hands it over to Wiley. So he puts it in his bike handlebar, and what? That wasn't it, no. Not yet. Okay, so he puts it in his bike handlebar, and so they're riding off into the distance, and he gets hit by a car. That's the beginning where he crashes in the air. It's 6:33. So anyways, his bike is totaled, and they take it to impound for some reason. He's not under arrest, but whatever. And Monday interrogates Wiley in the back of the ambulance by leaning out, hurting his ribs more, and he says he'll get the thing to him if he calls Manny, because it's in his bag, and Monday just needs to get him his bike. We all know where it is. So they get to the impound. Manny arrives. His girlfriend ends up attached to the tow truck. Like she grabs onto the tow truck and drives in, and the guy didn't even notice until he was inside of the impound lot. So Wiley finds a new bike because his bike is totaled, and he does. It's amazing. He rides over top of cars, like the roofs, and he goes up a boom lift down the shaft of the boom lift, and things like that, like insane things. At the same time this is happening, the driver of the tow truck driver is chasing the girlfriend on foot with she has a bike, and so she obviously gets away. Oh my gosh, this part makes me laugh so hard. So he's riding his bike as hard as he can towards some doors. Monday's like, shut the door, shut the door, shut the door, and it reminds me of Star Wars, where he goes, close the blast doors, close the blast doors. So this guy, this cop, or impound lot, whatever person, probably 300-pound old guy, just like as he's walking, it should be going bum, bottom, bottom. So he's walking extremely slowly towards this thing. He's like, I guess I'll shut the door now. Okay, he reminds me of Flash from um, Zootopia. Very slow, and he hits the button to close the doors, and the doors go. So he gets out, and as he gets out, it shuts, and then they are shut behind in the building, like on Star Wars. We're like, open the last door, open the last door. Love it. So they Wiley asks for a flash mob. A flash mob, apparently. Well, I mean, I always thought of it as, well. Then again, I was thinking like a dance. A bunch of people come to a mall and dance and same dance, but at the same time, there's the ones where they just stop moving or whatever. Sorry. Something's going down. I don't know if you can hear that, but they're coming to get me. um, yeah, flash mob. Sorry. So all of the couriers apparently know each other, and as soon as they ask for a flash mob, then they're all on board. Competition gets thrown out the window. So hundreds and hundreds of bikes come at the same time as Monday gets out of the car to, try to steal the ticket, and they all like shove him and stuff. He ends up Wiley ends up going into the tea shop or coffee shop or whatever it was to give Sister, whatever her name is, the ticket so her son can get on the boat. Then, my favorite part. It's so comedic, but it's probable. I mean, it's not completely. So Monday gets shot in the back of the head with it's interesting they use a phone book in front of the gun to silence the sound. I'm assuming because I've seen movies and stuff, but wouldn't that slow down the bullet? But anyways, so he's like, what? He got shot in the back of the head and he's talking and he's like, wait a minute. I don't understand, and he's acting really funny. And he opens up his door, he goes, I just need to calm down a little bit. And then he falls over and presumably dies. But that part, it very well could possibly happen to where a person gets shot in the head and not immediately die. And apparently walk and talk, but erratically. Just think of all those zombie movies where they get. Okay. Now we're gonna talk about. What is that? Resident Evil. The very first movie, they shoot the zombies in the head and they don't die, and then they shoot them in the head and then they die. But the third and fourth and fifth and sixth, she just shoots and then they die instantly. It's interesting. Anyways, that's not at all the point, but in real life, it very well could happen to where somebody gets a brain injury and they continue to talk and walk and breathe and stuff like that for a limited amount of time, and then you would assume that they die, but. The kid gets on the boat. Everybody's happy. Except for Monday. It was a really, really entertaining movie. First time I watched it, I think it was Netflix. No, it was on the like Time Warner Cable before it was Spectrum. We had like on demand type of thing. So I was like free movies, and I'm like Premium Rush. What is that? Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it, so it must be good. um, I was trying to stay awake all night because the next like week or so I was going to be working overnight shifts, and it definitely did not put me to sleep like Superman did, because Superman goes, he says something, and then all of a sudden he looks off into the distance. Oh, good movie. Rate wise, I would say 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. This was the review of Premium Rush.